Hi, so today we'll talk about neck. A lot has been described, right? Nefertiti and the beautiful neck, and we all love those beautiful jewelry pieces, the heirloom pieces. So neck is a big part of the beautiful you. So how do you take care of the neck? And what happens to neck as you keep growing up? So the first thing, I see a lot of teenagers coming to me saying, my neck has turned darker. And then they think it is dirt and start scrubbing the neck. No, it's not. That could be the very starting sign of something that we call as insulin resistance, which then can show up as PCOS, which means you may end up having excessive acne, body weight issues, skin color issues in general, all the body folds, hair fall, acne, hair growth on the face, a whole load of things, because that leads to what we call as hyperandrogenism or excessive male hormones in female. But in a man, that could be a pre-diabetic status also. Same for a woman as well. But for us, it might even add up as PCOS is what I'm trying to say. So basically that pigmentation that happens on the neck, don't ignore it. It is not dirty for sure, because if you scrub it, you're only making it worse. So what do you do for it? You go to your doctor. Firstly, get your diet and lifestyle adjustments done. Exercise, zero sugar, etc., etc. And then make sure you do everything that you can towards losing those extra pounds that you have gained. And then do not scrub, like I said, and use baby creams, lotions and potions with azelaic acid, might really help you, along with other plant-based skin lightening creams that can also help. So this is something that you can do. Now the other change that happens as you keep growing older is probably hair on the neck. So that again could be hormone related. So please make sure you meet your doctor. Acne. Does acne happen on the neck? Not usually, because there are not so many oil glands on the neck. In fact, there are almost zero oil glands on the neck. Very few, if at all, and that gets activated only when there is a stimulus from one of the hormones that's gone wrong. So that's why you see more of the adult acne, which is related to hormone imbalances. You see acne along the jawline and neck. So it's extremely important, if you see that, to meet your doctor and not think that you're going to grow out of it. That's not an acne you're just going to grow out of. So that's important for you. And then there are these skin tags, probably those black little mole-like things which come on excess on your neck. If that happens, again, you may want to check your sugars, insulins, the diabetes status basically, and if there is an insulin resistance just about brewing. So that's something that is also a clue for that. And if there's a very dry skin on the neck, it could be anything from just you having a dry skin by birth, or it could be those initial signs of thyroid which is going wrong if it is associated with hair fall and drying skin elsewhere. So these are things that you need to kind of, be alert about. And then what happens to neck as you start aging? So as you start aging, firstly, the skin on the neck is a little special. In which, when I say special, I mean that it is the thinnest skin on your entire body. Maybe the other that you can compare to it is the skin around your eye. So it's that thin firstly. So the aging signs happen very quickly there. And then remember I said there are no oil glands there. So there, have you ever heard of an oily neck? You would have heard of a sweaty neck, not an oily neck, right? So there are no sweat glands there. Oil glands there. So that leaves it with less lubrication, and therefore the skin is thin, has less oils of its own, so it ages even much more faster. And then the layer of fat under the skin between this thin muscle which is covering your entire neck called platysma is already very little. And then as you grow older, that subcutaneous fat kind of becomes lesser and lesser. So then you start seeing those muscle fibers very prominently as you grow older. And then you can see those bands of muscles, and you see some patients having these chicken leg kind of thing. That's the muscle band. So that's something that can happen. And then you can see the submental fat, which is the fat under the chin that starts to become excess. Now neck is not just neck. When you see a neck, you always, your eyes also go to the jawline, right? That becomes a part of the neck. So you will see, like I explained to you in one of the aging videos of the face, that the jawline becomes blunter because the jaw itself as a bone kind of becomes smaller as you grow older. So all the excess fat and excess skin is now going to come down and look like curtains here. So you need, when we as doctors start thinking of repairing the neck, we start to build the structure right from here to give more structural support. And then, which of course we use some fillers to get your chin right, your jaw angle right, and get the jawline more defined and robust so it holds and consumes the skin of the neck. And then we work on that excessive fat that I was talking to you about. Various things to work with it. You can simply do some exercises at home, stretch your neck, open your mouth wide, and take it out. And keep doing that. You see that there is a stretch that happens here. So there could be a little bit of movement which causes more of kind of blood coming in, and therefore, lymphatic drainage, fat circulation, which kind of pulls out things from here. So that's something that you can end up doing. Now, other than that, we have equipments like cool sculpting. We have injections like Lipodisol, Kybella, which you have heard is one of the popular names, trade names for it. So that's something we end up doing for the neck and the fat to dissolve. Then there's the parotid gland here that can actually swell as you grow older. You see a lot of Indian men having that. So you think it's just the jaw which is growing big, but you can see the ears standing up because there's a huge like a mass growing here. So it's not just fat, it's also the parotid gland which is now expanding. So we would end up working with some Botox for this area to get the parotid gland shrinking down. And then we could also use a little bit of Botox for those little bands I was saying. That works like magic. The bands go away, and when you look at a person from the side, the face neck angle becomes absolutely sharp when we work with this. I just love doing that treatment. And then there are energy-based devices like Ultherapy, Third March, other radio frequencies, everything that work on your neck. But because your neck skin is already thin, there is only so much that it can repair itself even if you stimulate. So the best way to take care of your neck is a lot to do with how you can take care of it earlier, and so prevent these changes. So one most important thing that you should do is extend everything that you're doing onto your face to your neck as well. Whether it is your moisturizer, your night repair cream, your probably pigment lightening cream. If you do have pigmentation elsewhere on the face, the same thing can go on the neck as well. And definitely the sunscreen during the day. And even when you cleanse, when you exfoliate, everything extend to the neck up until your clavicle and your décolletage. So that keeps this area more youthful, more healthy, more even toned, which makes it beautiful. So, and of course, like I always say, good lifestyle is very, very important. So your perfect diet, an exercise plan, some exercise towards the neck itself, and the jaw and the under the neck, which takes up like I was showing you, really helps this part quite a bit. And for more, keep the questions coming in.